Now, each Tuesday night, Alan speaks with our terrific US correspondent, Peggy Grande. She's the former executive assistant to President Ronald Reagan, and her book, The President Will See You Now, is available online at Booktopia. You can find it by Googling the title. But with the midterm elections due next Tuesday, I thought it was vital to cross to Peggy to see what the latest news is. Peggy, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me on tonight, Fred. It's a privilege.
Before we get to the election stuff, it's just been revealed that Joe Biden got a bit cranky with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in June when he thought Zelensky wasn't being grateful enough for the billions of dollars worth of military and humanitarian aid the US was sending him. Apparently the two have made up since then, but Peggy, is Biden starting to realise that the American people are getting tired of funding the Democrats' wars?
Well, perhaps he's echoing some frustration from the American people, but it's not that we don't want to support Ukraine. Of course we do. We want to defend their sovereignty. We appreciate that they're on the front lines pushing back against Russia and Putin, but we also want accountability. The American people are very generous, and so they want to continue funding, but do so with accountability. But as for Joe Biden getting testy or getting angry, that's not something that's surprising to us at all. We've seen it many times. We've seen it actually with reporters live on air. And interestingly enough, we've seen Joe Biden get testy and angry with voters when he was campaigning. And so I don't think that's a winning strategy. But if you remember, Joe Biden was touted as being this great unifier, this peacemaker, the best diplomat that America has ever seen. And certainly none of that has proven to be true. And this is just the latest in a long string of unsurprising and very disappointing actions coming out of our president.
He's increasingly temperamental, though, isn't he? He was known previously as a reasonably even-tempered man.
Well, that was always the reputation and the line that was out there. But those who had worked behind the scenes with him and knew Joe Biden well actually knew that there was this temper and this streak behind him. And so just the few times that we've seen it on camera, apparently those are magnified behind the scenes and have been for years. And now we're seeing somebody who's really struggling cognitively. And so I think we're seeing more of this coming out, and we'll probably see more to come.
Yeah, well, that's something to look forward to. Now, just getting back to the Ukraine war, has Joe Biden ever expressed any exit strategy or specific objective in this for the US involvement in the war in Ukraine?
Well, in fact, he's done the exact opposite. He said, we're in this as long as it takes. We will fund this without limit. And, you know, it's been a lot of people in Congress who have said, whoa, 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 let's tap the brakes. Let's have a strategy. Let's have a plan. And like I said, the American people are very generous. They're very sympathetic. They're very appreciative of all that Zelensky and the Ukrainian people are doing on the front lines against Russia. But you see the struggles that we're having here at home. You see the economic pressure that the American people are under. And so to fund an endless and, unending, without strategy war in Ukraine, when we're fighting so many wars domestically here at home in different ways, it's really becoming an increasingly difficult sell to the American people.